Hey young scholars, Mr. Moran here, and I am going to help you with this assignment because analyzing the Gettysburg Address, it's tough. It's tough for anybody, and there's a lot to unpack. And so you have already completed the first part where you've answered the first couple questions. You've listened to the video where retired General Colin Powell reads the Gettysburg Address. You've highlighted those key terms, which you've done in CAMI. And then here, oh, by the way, I'm sorry, my neighbor, yes, he's running a chainsaw, so sorry. So you've compared your list of words to the word cloud here, and you've put your 3 words right here, and then you've answered this question number 2. How does your list compare to the word cloud? And please don't forget to answer this. Do you have all the same words? Are there only a few words that are the same, or is it completely different? And for number 2, there's not a wrong or right answer. It's just getting you to think about the words within the address. So let's really get down into nitty-gritty here on the analyzation here. So number 3, this is the part I want you to focus on. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great work or great task remaining before us. So what work or task is Abraham Lincoln referring to in this part of the speech? I gave you a hint. The answer can be found in the first sentence of the same speech. So let's go to that first sentence here. fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated, here it is, dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. And proposition was one of those words I gave to you up at top here. And it's a statement or a belief or expresses an opinion. So it's an idea that all men are created equal. And there it is. To answer that question, going back down here, the work that remains is the work to help make our nation a nation where all men are created equal. And this is key because up until this time period, when people read the Declaration of Independence and they read those words that all men are created equal, they really meant, they thought, we're talking about just men, guys, but in particularly white guys. But Abraham Lincoln, from this point forward, says, nope, when those words were written, he's actually, Jefferson, excuse me, was referring to humans, that all humans are created equal. And so we need to be rededicated to this great task before us to ensure that we have a government where all men or humans are equal. And then go down to number 4, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. And I have the statement here. Lincoln could have saved everybody time if he would have stated government of, for, and by the people shall not perish from the earth, right? Why repeat yourself 800 times? So the reason why he did this was because just like any time we repeat ourselves, you're trying to emphasize a point. And the point that Lincoln's trying to emphasize is that we are a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And it's important to understand he uses the term people, not men, not white men, but people. So when he means people, he means everybody. And he's trying to drive this point home. And again, in the 21st century, we're like, well, duh, we are a government of the people. But it wasn't like that in 1863. Remember, the Civil War is still going on. The Emancipation Proclamation was just recently issued. And remember, the Emancipation Proclamation freed all enslaved people in those states of rebellion, not in the North, only in those states that are rebelling. So remember, we had states that stayed with the Union that still enslaved people. In fact, the vice president at this time owned slaves. So this is important because Abraham Lincoln had the foresight. He knew that the war, the North will win, and we're going to have those states in rebellion join the United States again, and they're not going to have the slaves. Well, he has said this before, you cannot have a divided nation. And so what's going to happen to those states that stayed with the Union? They're going to end slavery. And so he is telling people that this is a new beginning. In fact, some historians call that the Gettysburg Address the second Declaration of Independence, because Lincoln now declares that we are a nation of people, not just a nation for white men, but of all the people. So to make sure I've answered that question, Lincoln is emphasizing that we're a government for all the Americans, not just white people. And then number 5, when President Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address, some people, in fact a lot of people at the time, did not like it. They ridiculed Lincoln for it. If President Biden gave a speech like this, do you think most Americans would like it or not? So this is your opinion. There's no wrong or right answer. I'm just looking for you to declare, yes, I think a lot of people would, or a lot of people wouldn't, and then your reason why. So there you go. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop by my office hours and I can help you, or talk to the teacher and they can help you. Thanks. Bye.